Okay, so
That's what I'm trying to do. So, with my design, I have these like bridges here on the side. So I've edited the boundaries so that it looks like that. And then
is
I
that
have,
like a mezzanine?
yes,
Is that on when you arrive from the ground floor?
yes. So the one lifts is there. The main lifts are there, and the one fire escape and the other fire
Do you
escape.
have a sketch of what you want to do?
I don't have it here. Forgot it at home, but so it's these bridges on the side here. So it's gonna have like these railings, but in between these, it's gonna be like these boxes. So it will have like the conference. These boxes will be like the conference rooms or the meeting room and stuff like that. What
That
I'm
are floating.
looks like it's floating, yes, but it's actually
Okay,
just
let's see.
cantilevered off the side there. But
Okay.
some of them will just sit on top of the columns, so they'll be attached on this side. So they'll be attached. I need to add the columns on
What
that
level?
side.
So level
This is
3.
level 3.
Okay, let's just see it. Let's go to 3D view. Let's just see what we're doing. Okay. So 3D view.
I've done it in working so you can see it properly.
I see that you've got those there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that floor and I'm going to use this command just to isolate, and I'm going to work just in this view very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to work between those floors and it's coming together. Switch off your mask. Do you need your mask anymore?
No,
If you
I've
don't need,
switched it off in the working. So
yeah,
I've been working in the working view,
okay,
not the
you
view.
can start delete if the mask has served its purpose. If you're not going to use it,
Yeah, no,
you
I'm
can
not
delete
using
it.
it for
You
it.
can literally delete it because then it's
Okay.
done its job.
Okay.
Okay, you don't need it to build because your floors are built now, so you can delete that. You don't need it anymore
I
because
still need
it's
to
served.
create the extrusions though for the stairs.
No, that's fine. Yeah, those you just open up, you change the floors to
Yeah, I
suit
do.
you.
I'm going with the Revit course, so
That's good.
I'm
That's good.
some at floors now. Then I'm getting to walls.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
need to just sort out the floors before I do like the walls and then add the columns on this on the edge.
Okay. Now, so you want to create these little cubes. So you come off here, but underneath here, you walk underneath them. But
Yes.
these on this level, they little lecture
Yes, you can
rooms.
only access them. So when the lift comes up, access from there and then access from there.
Okay, so here, if you go to edit, so what I would do is edit footprint, because basically all that we're going to do, and it will work between the columns. So pick a point. I'm going to say, technically, I'm going to say pick face. I'm going to say, so maybe, and you're going to use your columns the whole time.
Yes, and so one of my design informants is the column, so that's why I've been working with the
Okay, good.
columns.
Good. Now, I'm going to use the split line tool. So split that one, split that one. Now, we actually only have to do this once.
Split line two, how do you get that?
Sorry, it's this command here.
Oh,
Split
okay,
line.
okay.
Okay. So now you see it split that, split that, split that. Watch this. Trim. So I'm going to go. And because I've got some line work here to work with, if the line work gets overbearing, very quickly you use the glasses. You go isolate category. Now I can quickly reset.
Okay.
Okay.
But you see, I'm also so these ones will have it will be kind of off those side edges, but then I also have these bridges in between on like the higher levels where there's more space between them. So I'm wondering how do I create those bridges?
Again, watch this.
No, I know it's gonna have that, but like the finish on the floor is different.
Oh, is it a different floor? And thinner.
I would say yeah, kind of.
Because then all it
Because
use,
it's just like a bridge. It's not really holding
yeah, you literally
much of the
create another
time.
slab. So you got a floor, you literally create another slab that fits. But now you need to set, so we need to, I'm doing this in 3D view just so I can see it quickly, but on level 3,
So I just create a separate floor and then I can edit.
yeah, and I'll explain. So in 3D view, if you go back here, oh wait,
I didn't
I worked in the wrong, oh, why not? Just make sure this is level 3. Yeah, level 3. That's strange, why didn't it create it? Okay, there it is. Okay, definitely did it. Now that, you can change it to
any material.
any material. Now the goal is making sure, let's edit this floor. So that is actually a substrate, which is correct in that structure. So that 150, that concrete 150, all that you need to understand is this floor, if you go and edit this floor, that the top finishes match. So let's make this, I'll explain. Let's make this is this the timber floor that you've been using?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's make it that. I'm going to go edit type. I'm going to say duplicate. I'm going to call this one maybe whatever you're working with there. Whatever. I'm just going to make this 300 for now. I'll come back and change it just so it's got a new name. I'm going to go to edit type. So maybe that now needs to be 250 rather. Now you see it's thinner. But now if you join these two together, because they are different floors, but if you join them together now, so if I select the floor and I use join, you'll notice now they'll join seamlessly. See that?
Yes.
And because they share the same materials, you'll see that everything will look correct. So if you cut a section through
The
here,
issue I'm kind of having is that the bridges are made of steel and timber. It's not really concrete.
then you just change the material to suit. You literally change it so it'll have a steel sub base. That becomes steel, but you might still
Or
have a
like could you
concrete.
have steel like I-beams on the edges and then the
Okay,
concrete.
that gets a little different. Then you might have to start using structural steel systems.
Okay.
But what I would do very quickly, say now I want to do that. I want to check. So what I'll do is edit boundary. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to say finish. So basically, I want to quickly model what I want to see here. So this is quite a good technique to understand. So in 3D view, this is quite difficult to do in 2D view unless you're using sections, but I'll show you in 3D view very quickly how quick it is to do this. Now you've got a 3D working view, so I might do it in that view and let's just see. But for now, I'm going to focus just on, so what I might do is generic, I'm going to create a quick model in place. You can do this using floor slabs and then steel beams, but I just want to see what I'm doing very quickly. I can delete this in place family and I don't need it anymore because I'm just trying to prototype before I commit to building. Very easy. So I'm going to go to floors. I'm going to call this bridge or just call this floor one or
I think bridge
walkway.
is better.
Walkway one. Walkway one.
Can I
Good.
put this to sleep for now?
Yeah. Basically, now I'm in a in-place family. Now watch how amazing this is actually. I'm gonna say set work plane, set work plane. I'm gonna say pick plane. I'm gonna pick this plane. I'm gonna say show work plane. So now you see I've got a work plane that I can now see here. And you can even set the grid of the work plane, which is quite neat. So now that's where Revit's going to start working. So watch this. So I'm going to create an extrusion very quickly. So I'm going to say, actually, I want a rectangle. I want the top to be 50 mil or 100 timber. So here I'm just prototyping. Doesn't matter of the width yet. I'll get to that in a minute. I can snap it to there. So now that's my timber. Now, in my in-place floor, you see that you've got categories here. I can say slab edge, common edge, but I can add more categories because I can say I want that to be a timber. I can be very specific. So I can go to in place. Yes, you might. If you go to object styles and you go to floors, guess what? I can add categories in here now. New floors. I'm going to call this timber. Timber. So that's my timber. When it cuts through that, it'll be line weight 3. Just like that. Press apply, press OK. Change that category to timber. Now I want to change that material. You do everything in place. So now let's type in timber and see what I can find here. But if you want it like a timber floor with this very specific, so if you can't find it here, you go to this MRC. So you go to this library here because there's a lot of stuff pre-built in here. So if you go to flooring, cork, here you can see bamboo. Let's just use bamboo for now. I'm going to add that in because it might have a nice finish. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. Now you see that this will change. Why did it not change to bamboo. So what you got to do is press this icon first, upload it, then click it. Press apply. Bamboo. Now, sorry, this thing is annoying sometimes. Bamboo. Graphics, use render appearance. So it's got a physical render appearance, and that's what it'll look like. Physical, we don't need that asset. We don't need physical characteristics. All we're looking for is graphics, just like this. Press apply, press OK. I can change this to perspective as well if I really want to. Just be careful, you must select the object because then you get a better double click, then you can zoom to it. So here you can also.
But that's just for like construction wise, how it will show like the material. But then if I can export it into like Photoshop or something and then render it in there.
Watch this realistic watch. It'll look like bamboo.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Okay, so just go, don't use render view. Okay, now all the time, explain why. Now, just change this back to orthographic. It's better to model orthographic. Now, edit's in place. So I'm going to say edit. So just go to work plane again. I need to see my work plane. So create, show. That's still my work plane. Now I want to create steels on the side here. I want to create steel beams. Now if it does get a bit hectic, you can go and edit where this, but I'm going to show you another technique. So I'm going to say extrusion. Now I'm going to create a bit of steel work. So I'm going to start with a rectangle. Now I can go and say viewer. Guess what this does? It opens up a viewer of my profile that I'm busy creating. So sometimes there's a lot of stuff in the way. That is annoying. So you just have to pick your poison. But now, watch this. So say now this is a bit of steel. So let's take it to the underside. I can use a line and I can snap it to the underside here. So tab once, I've snapped it to the underside. Okay, now this, I want that to be, so this 152, this needs to be maybe 70, 76. That's a bit of steel. I'm going to go offset, make this 10 mil, we exaggerate it. Press tab. Now, this line work I don't need. I'm going to pull this through. Split, trim. Trim. You go make a new category, steel. See what's going on now? So here I've got like my timber flooring. Then I can put little steels across here. I can actually go to town and detail this thing to the T. But you can use your floors to kind of give it what it looks, and when you cut through it you get that effect. Because you're going to have to close the underside of your, or do you want it exposed?
I haven't thought of that much.
Okay, anyway, so, but what's neat is, say now I want the steels going in both directions. So I'm going to go and say edit extrusion. Guess what? I'm going to grab that. I'm going to use the mirror tool. Mirror. By center line. Huh. Now I can start getting, well, that must snap to that face here. That must snap to that face there. Huh. So I'm going to say finish in place. What's neat is you can go and edit. You can go and edit these in place. So because you can make tweaks. You can also use the line command, align. Now, if I go to section view, oh, sorry, I used this. Just be careful with scope boxes in 3D view. I actually switch them off a lot of the time. I want the section box. Just be careful, yeah.
No, I have like three different scope boxes.
Yeah, I'm just, sorry, there it is there. And if you apply the right materials, it will start looking correct. Okay, now if I want to put a hand railing, so you get an architecture hand railing. Now just make sure set. Now make sure level 3 is set, and say show work plane. Now you see it's showing me that's my work plane. I can actually do a lot of the modeling in 3D view sometimes. I switch between sketch path. So I'm going to say pick line. I'm going to put one. So I'm going to say pick line. So one there and one there. Oh yeah, you can only do one at a time. Otherwise, have to be closed, finished. Huh.
And then is there also options to change the materiality of those?
Now, technically, now you just have to play with the offset. So here you must just play with the offset to get it right. You either do it, okay, but you'll see that this is very easy. So you go and edit path. So edit path, watch this. I'm going to say pick line tool. So trim that. And then I'm going to split line. I'm going to split this quickly, delete that. Watch this, extend. So you're going to go extend. So align, Okay. So that you can do this method, but maybe for now you don't need to do that because all that you're doing then is literally so technically you don't have to do that. You just create a floor type. So you're going to go and say, so just create a new floor type. I'm just going to create a little nib here and I'll explain why. So floor, so rectangle. Okay, finished. Now this guy, I'm going to go and say edit type. I'm going to go and find this one that I made timber floor. I'm going to say duplicate. Type 2 is for now. So in this make the substructure 50. We've got bamboo already, so we can go and type. So I can actually recreate this pretty quickly, and that'll be a 175. Just look up your timber sections. This could be steel. Steel purlins. Okay, I think you get them in, it's a 252 by 76. I'll explain why I'm doing this. Press OK, press apply, press OK. Now, this floor is that the correct, it's the correct as that. You're just not getting the detail. However, when you go inside and model it inside, you add the detail.
How do I?
So I'll explain. So you won't get it in 3D view, but if you're drafting, you cut through, then you draft what you see. Because it gives you enough. So let me just explain this. Let's just finish that as it is there. Level 3. If I go to this section now, let's drag this floor and let's say edit footprint. And let's take this across. I'm going to switch it in that direction. Okay, that's just be careful because if this is on a sheet, which it is, I would then create a new section now. And this is a working section. I'll delete it straight away. I'm just focusing on that. 1 to 50. 1 to 100 is fine. So here, so show fine detail. It shows you the different makeups. Now I can achieve the same thing as that. So what you do is if you draft now you draft. You literally draft what you want to see. So if I want a steel section, you go to insert, so insert, load family, sorry, let's do this one rather. Chorus.
I think you just have to change the.
That's fine.
Because I was looking through different families for like furniture and stuff for the other countries.
Yeah, you won't get a big. There's a library called BIM Optics. You get better libraries. Okay, but just be careful. Some of the stuff's not great either. So detail items. So here, if you go to steel sections, you'll see like there's a whole lot of these steel sections. But if you go to, it's quite a lot going here. Structural steel. Here we go. Structural. Just go back here. Detail items. Just got to get the right category. That's strange. That's more detail items. Let me just find these. It's called structural framing, lattice steel sections. There we go, steel sections. So we want a channel. So you can say I-beam, channel. So here you've got all of these pre-built. Okay, and when you download them, they come with the correct size. Let's just say I want a cold roll channel, just like that. Load. Now it's going to ask me what sizes do I want. So here it's asking me what sizes do I want to work with. So let's bring in a 150, 200s, 230 maybe, load. And you'll load all types. Now if you go to insert, remember now this is annotation. Okay, so annotate, component.
How is it?
Huh. Now you hide. You can then go and hide this information. You hide it in view because you draft what you need to see. So this is the quickest way to do it. So I would use this method to build up everything that you need. If you want a lot of detail, because here you see you're getting all the detail. Okay, this one, it gives you the outlines like it does here, because here, remember, you're going to show timber sections. It's actually easier to draft that in than to model it, because you need to decide, is the stair closed from underneath or is it open? So what I mean, 3D view. So this is what I like about this. So if I go here quickly, so let's go like that. So let's pull this down a bit. This is what I like about 3D view now. So now, if I right click here, perspective, and I go Shift W, and I go to center, and I focus on something. So center, I want the full navigation wheel. So full navigation wheel. Okay, center. Okay, something selected. But anyway, so let's just go. Okay, something is selected by distance. Yeah, is that? Ah, that guy was off. Just be careful, that guy causes issues. Okay, now perspective view. So I'm going to go to Shift W, center. So whatever you see I'm centering on, it'll center around. Orbit. Now I can walk in here. So if you walk slowly, now you can look around. So this is simulating if I was in a space. So let's just go up and down a bit. So down a bit. Let's walk a bit more. So now you can look around. So you can say, well, actually, so now you can actually put yourself in this position and see. It's quite neat, huh? You can then save these as 3D views. You can keep duplicating this view and save this as a 3D view. So then you can, now you need to decide, do I want to see this or do I want to see it closed?
I mean, design-wise, that's how you need to look. Just for that eye
But now
challenge
here
is
comes the
one,
catch.
so
Now you need to decide for construction. I'm not going to see that at construction. We're working with mostly 2D. Unless you want to detail the stair. So I would do that rather. When I cut through the section, I'll draft what I need to see.
also in so I can use the detail item. So when that section is going through, that's what you see.
That's what you see. So basically, so this is what you guys need to do. Pick your poison. So what I'll do is, watch this, detail lines. So I'm going to go to annotate. So what I'll do to replicate that. So I'm going to go to filled region, line weight 3, because I know I want timber. Line weight 3, I want that to be bamboo. And I set a timber, and I think there is timber here already. Timber finish.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Component. Switch off this for now. Explain. I can adjust this now to show. I can say move this, move that to there. And watch this. Mirror. Same deal. Mirror. Then I can show detail line. I can show stuff in the background here, which is those little timber steel things. Now I can go and draft little detail. Now, if you don't want to see this line work here, if you click on the object, you see you've got this tool here, line work. You can override this to hidden lines. You can say, I want that to be hidden line, that hidden line, that hidden line. So you can override those very quickly, and I'll switch back. So let's make this, switch this back to detail view. So you see I've made that hidden line. But at any time, I can go back, go back there and I can say, here I can go and say, I think you can make it by component again. You can switch off this and you can make it the appropriate by category. Then it takes it back to whatever the category is. Here you're overriding the line work. But if I go and say invisible lines, watch. It's gone. It's still there.
But it's just hidden.
Yeah, and if I switch off my line work, now I've got that line work. That's a detail line work. It does leave these little points to tell you might have to override that point because there might be something else there. So sometimes it's better off you just hide the object. Okay, now you've got the detail. I'm getting the same as that, but with legs. I didn't have to model. I didn't have to spend half a day modeling that steel, putting in all the little. You can do it.
I mean, from a design perspective, I would want to. It's just construction, and that does the
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So then, just to double check with that, I create a work plane for that one.
Yeah.
Create a work plane, and then once I create the work plane, does it give me those options to create extrusions and all of
No, you have to create it. You have to go to architecture, component, model in place.
And then okay.
Yeah. If you're going to make model in places, so now there's a couple bridges. Make the bridges in the same model in place. If I go edit in place, you see this bridge here, and you make it bridge level once. Don't make hundreds of in-place families. If you're going to use in-place, yeah, so in the in-place family, say I want to make a new bridge somewhere else. Now these are dependent on work planes. So say now, so here in this view, and remember it'll put in the right category. This changes to orthographic. Okay, I should change the section box. But now if I go and say create, set work plane, so I'm going to say pick plane, and I'm going to pick this face here. Show. Now I can say, I can create the same things. Extrusion. Sorry. Play ball. Come on, play ball. Watch this. Extrude. MA, match properties. Come on. MA. Okay, it doesn't want to, but quickly, subcategory, timber, material, bamboo. Now they're all in the same in-place family. Now this guy I can now extrude. I can copy these. What I like about this, watch this. This is what's cool. I'm going to go and edit extrusion. Control C. Copying those shapes. Finish. Now watch this. Create extrusion. New work plane. Control V. It does get a bit whack sometimes because it doesn't know, but you just rotate. Now I just move them into the right move. See what I did there? I copied that exact. I'm going to show you one bonus tip here as well. Now, this extrusion, watch what happens if I snap it to this. Okay, let me do this. Align. I'm going to select that paint and that paint, and I'm going to lock it. Now, watch what happens when I just edit this extrusion.
Then it moves everything.
Now they've formed a relationship. Locking things sometimes does come with a price as well, so just be careful. But now they're all in the same in-place family. Now if you have too many in-place families, Revit doesn't like that. So if you're going to make an in-place family, you make them all in one. to
If I
save.
have to do it on a different floor, then
Then you literally copy this up, and then you can make a new one. But don't have too
so
many in
how do
place
I?
families.
So I just click on the
Grab this guy.
because I mean these
Okay, watch
floors
this.
are going
Watch,
to be the
watch.
same on every floor. So
Copy,
it's just
paste. Oh, there. If so, say now this is the same. Watch this.
it might just
Copy,
move
paste,
into
align
different.
to. But if there's a different variation, then I'll make it. So you'll say
Okay.
walkways level 1, walkways level 2.
Okay.
If you want a lot of detail. But if you don't need the detail for now, because this will take time. If you want to model these things, then if you want to model, so watch this. I'll go like this. So go and edit extrusion. Now, if I want to start adding those little slats in here, so now it gets a bit more complicated. Create, set, pick, because maybe that'll be an internal plane. You see that internal plane? Now I'm going to create these little, create, extrusion. So now that I've got little bits of steel, so now I want
So
that.
to create that extrusion, I only have to draw it on the one plane, and then it automatically like
Yeah.
comes out.
Just think of it as trying to work with work planes the whole time. Go align.
And then I can just edit the material, edit the
Yeah.
type.
And give it a category. You have to
Okay.
give it a category. So when it cuts through, Revit knows what to cut that. So in that floor, I need to make a steel one now and change the line where it's there. But now I've got this guy, but watch now. I'm going to say move this guy, move.
This array underneath.
So I'm going to move this, yeah, so you can use the array tool. But now you might have to get into a better 3D view, or you have to cut a section to make this work better, okay? But I can very quickly go align, watch this, align. Might change extrusion. Yeah, I thought it would, so undo. So this we need to move. Okay, now you might need to create a section working view to work on this.
Okay, so what you did there, just creating a new section that I can
Yeah.
work with it, and then I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move
But
this
then I
guy.
create it that way, so I can array it underneath.
Yeah, and make sure that this view set is back to orthographic. Good. And now move. Sometimes it doesn't like to snap, so just be careful, okay? You might have to go to a section view. So just to say
That would be
move.
easier for now.
Yeah. See, now it's wanting to use this middle point here. So there. It'll snap. Put it back to here somewhere. I'm just showing you this quickly. Now you can use the array command. Array. So you're going to say array, but now this is where the section tool might come in handy. So finish this. I'll just go to the level 3 now. So I want to move this working. I'll explain what I'm doing. I'm going to move this guy from there to there, drag it from there to there. So these,
I don't keep creating new ones. I can just move the old ones.
because it's not a. Now watch this. Edit extrusion. So you'll see now that the snap and end works better. The controls work better. Now watch this. You're going to create an extrusion. I'm going to say to last. I'm going to say from here to last. I'll explain why. So from there, so from center to center, last. It means if this one changes, watch.
They all move.
You just have to do that from time to time to reset the perspective. It does happen. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to give this back to you. You can choose what you want to do with it. Okay. So I'm going to upload this for you.
So I just download it then from that same file.
Yeah.
I have one more question. Quick one in AutoCAD. Because I need to do I'm fixing
I'm
up the
just going to
site.
stop streaming. So I'm going to save this. So you can
Also-
this video you can get offline, and I'll show you where.
Okay, please just show me because then when I'm looking at it, then I